Good afternoon, this is Ivan O'Mara. It's like 4 o'clock right now. Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made yesterday. I talked about my book Xanus and I showed you snippets of my book. Hope you guys enjoyed my book I showed you yesterday. Yeah, and your book is sick. I know, my book is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, man. Yeah, you can tell your prologue is not as good. Yeah, my prologue is my worst chapter in my book. It's not. It's pretty interesting. It's still entertaining, but it's not as entertaining as the other chapters I showed you, right? Yeah. Ivan, please show us Volume 3. No. Volume 3, you get the big spoiler. It's the big plot twist, and you get the big spoiler with the ancestors and all stuff. Yeah. You get the big spoiler in Volume 3. Hence why I don't want to show you Volume 3. Obviously. So Volume 3 is when things get deep. Yeah, Volume 3 is when the story gets so deep, it blows your mind away. And that's why you're yeah, it's a masterpiece. Yeah, because you have Dacty's his light behind the walls. He leaves the walls to the south. He takes on a fake identity. He works for Eli. He gets thrown in a dungeon. Then you have the exit of Savage. I almost spoil this over you. And then you have the Thesis scene. Then the plot gets so deep, whereby it blows your mind away, and you're like, yeah, it's a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, it's a masterpiece. And Taki's is a changed man. You know what? In Volume 3. Yeah. It's a changed man, Taki's in Volume 3. That's why looking at a master that I wrote. Yeah, man. Well, I even, like, seriously, how do you do it? Like, every time I read your book, your characters jump on the page. I don't know how I do it. It's just a magic trick that I have. It's a gift that I have. God gave me the gift. God gave me each of the gifts because he knew the gates would lock the doors, and that's why he gave me the keys. These curse keys, how I can open my own door. And he gave me each of the gifts. That way what? You know, that way we can what? I can own a product. Because he knew the gatekeeper was locked all the doors. I know, Ivan, you hate the keys and you trip and everything, but everyone hates you with the keys. But, like, this is how you open the door, man. Everyone's just hating on you because they're envious. You can open your own door and they can't. They all work hard for 40, 50, 60K a year. And you have the keys to the kingdom. You can make your easy billions. I know you trip and you have anxiety, and I have a mental illness, obviously. I get things like hot thoughts and everything. But God gave me the keys. That way, what? So I can open my door and I can make my billions for me and VJ. For me and my wife, Samzana. That's why God gave me the keys to the kingdom. Obviously. No, Ivan, seriously, are you bluffing, man? Is your whole book like that? Yes, man. I'm not lying, guys. When I say my book is entertaining read, what I'm showing you guys, every volume is like that. Every page is like that. It's constant entertainment. Some pages are not as good as other pages, as I've showed you. Like they're like the Young Tactics, you guys can tell. Young Tactics was not as interesting as like what I showed you with the Lithia chapter and the Takis or Colonies chapter when Takis gets thrown in the dungeon. Those chapters are more interesting, obviously, but Young Takis is still interesting enough to entertain you and keep you hooked. I showed you the scene when Takis, he asks they're eating supper, right? In the castle, when Takis is curious, he's like, why can't we leave the walls? And then Cassius is like, Takis, enough with this question, obviously. Because Taki, when you guys read it, obviously, read that passage, Tactius and Nestorius don't know what's outside the walls, and Sarah told them when Tactius was born. Sarah told Cassius, make sure you don't tell my son about the devil wolves in the south. hence why, obviously, the tactics eventually find out. Well, you'll see what I mean when you read the book. I don't want to spoil so for you. You'll see what I mean when you read the book. I don't want to spoil so for you. Yeah, he doesn't know, but he's curious what's outside the walls when you read the book. Some Sarah? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking on matches that I wrote, man. No, I even seriously, man. Every time you show us sections of your book, your characters, like the way your dialogue flows, your characters jump on the page. I don't know how I do it. They just jump on the page. It's a gift that I have. Like, the characters have distinct voices and everything. Like, what I show you when Taki's had an argument with Papyri, you got that distinct voice with Sirius. He's like, my prince. You know, I'm saying, this girl has clouded your judgment. She's tainted your mind. Please wake up. Yeah, I'm now sick, I know. Not even all what you show us is entertaining. Yeah, some stuff is not as entertaining as the other stuff, obviously. But it's still entertaining enough to keep you turning the page and keep you hooked. When I tell you my whole book is like that, I'm not lying, guys. My whole book is like that. It's constant, consistent entertainment. Hence why, when I release my book, and the world buys my book, you're looking at a public embarrassment in the industry. Looking at a what? A public embarrassment in the industry. Whereby all the authors are going to feel like shit. That's why the gates won't control my brand, but they're not touching a dime of my money. I'd rather wake up one day and have you do that, man. I'm not going to have me share and destroy my life. You fucking crazy. I'd rather wake up one minute later and have you do like that. No way. I'd rather run off and be single than share with a garbage wife. If they gave me the choice to run off, I would run off and be single. I'd rather be single, live my life than share with Victoria Justice, man. No fucking way, man. With a garbage wife and destroy my life. You crazy? I'm a one woman kind of guy. I'm not into banging a bunch of women. You guys are fucking crazy people. Yeah. My book is a masterpiece. A masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. Not even you are gifted, man. There's something about your writing that's very different, that's unique, I know. Where your characters, even the animal characters, jump on the page. Yeah, with the eagles. You called on us, O king. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My sincere joy in your child's birth, and you have my welcome. You know what I'm saying? Head to Safius, tell him that the king of Xanus sent you. As you command, sire. You know, say, I'm now sick, I know. My book is sick, man. Yeah. The Eagles, very minor characters. Yeah, the Eagles only have like 4 scenes in the book. That's the one criticism. Some people might say, "Oh, the Eagles are not developed. The Eagles are not developed well at all. They're very minor here. They only have like 4 or 5 scenes in the book. The Crows are more developed than the Eagles, but the Crows don't have much scenes either. Aratat's Crows have quite a bit of scenes too. Like you caught in the politics chapter, Aratat's Crows approached the wall, and the Maramis men fought them off. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil story for you. Aratat sent his Crows, his spies, into the north, and Aratat's archers fight them off. I was looking at a sick book, yeah. I'm saying, yeah. So the Eagles and Crows fight in the book. You'll see that. You'll see what I mean when we read the book. I won't spoil story for you. Yeah, I won't spoil story for you. The Eagles are very minor characters in the book. The one criticism people are going to have about my book, it's a little raw. As you guys caught some rawness in some of my dialogue, Ivan could have used different word choices in his book. Obviously, Ivan could have used different word choices in his book, but it's still good enough to keep you hooked. I'm a genius. I'm a genius, yeah. I'm a genius. Yeah. Ivan, what did Takis mean when he said it's time? You'll find out what I mean when you read the book. I don't want to spoil it over you. But you saw that face. There was a face in the sky that was staring at Takis when Takis was born. Takis looks at that face. He says it's time. The only thing I'm going to tell you is the faces are the ancestors, obviously. And you also have a demonic face in the south. Those are the ancestors of the south. I don't want to spoil this over you. See when you read the book. Yeah. Obviously. And when Tactius talks to the crowd, the hostile crowd in Safi's, obviously, after he talks to the crowd, obviously, a demonic face in the sky, a quick face in the sky stares at Tactius. Yeah. Ivan, what does that mean? I don't want to spoil this over. You'll find out when we read the book. Hence why, yeah, obviously, some Sarah. Because when you read the book, you'll constantly see me mention a face in the sky. You have a face in the sky in the north staring at Tactius, and you have faces in the sky in the south staring at Aratat and Tactius when Tactius talks to the crowd. But it all makes sense when you read Volume 3. Volume 3 is when it gets deep with the end. You get with the ancestors. That's why it's an amazing book. So Volume 3 is when it gets dark. Yeah, Volume 3 is when it gets very dark. Volume 1 and 2, it's pretty light. It's pretty dark too. Like, you have the capture chapter with Aratat for fooling Cassius, like I showed you, obviously. Well, Volume 3 is when things get very, very, very deep. The story gets deep. Hence why it's like a horror fantasy novel, because in Volume 3 is when it gets very, very deep. Like, biblical level deep. You know how Jesus was in agony before he died on a cross? It's like that deep. It gets so deep. Hence why it's a masterpiece, man. Obviously. Hence why Volume 3 is my favorite. Hence why I didn't show you Volume 3. Because Volume 3 is when things get very, very deep. And the story gets very, very deep, obviously. And once you read the book, you'll be like, yeah, it's a masterpiece. Because you have the whole journey. Tactius is a cocky, confident, arrogant prince. He gets thrown in a dungeon. He meets Sirius Papyri, the Southerners, and Saphius. Cassius and his soldiers are looking for him. They get captured. That's all I'm going to say. And then they journey through the mountains, and then once they journey through the mountains, that's when you get the big plot twist. I won't spoil it for you, and the story gets so deep. It's a masterpiece. The best fantasy novel ever written, yeah, man. Yeah. Gets deep. Gets deep, yeah. Yeah. Hence why what? I wrote a masterpiece, hence you're welcome, VJ. And the gates are not touching down on money. Zero. That money is for me, VJ, it's not for you. Samsara. You locked all doors with me, you won't let me touch your money, and this money off the book is mine. You kept me poor for 40 years, this money's mine, you're not touching down my money. Zero. Samsara. I'd rather wake a woman than have you do that, man. No way. I have power over death, man. Come on. Oh, I seriously, man, how deep is Volume 3? It is so deep, it's going to blow your mind away. That's why you're looking at a masterpiece. I'm not kidding around, guys. The story of Volume 3 is when it gets, like, it gets biblical level deep. Like, yeah. Like Jesus and agony deep. That's how deep it gets. Yeah, the story gets very, very deep, man. Whereby it blows your mind away. It's so deep. Whereby Tactics is in agony at the end of Volume 3. Yeah, so you have this cocky, confident prince. That's all I'm gonna say. He looks down solid and he knows his destiny, and then he gets mature. He grows his beard. I almost will serve you. And in the end of Volume 3, he's down on his knees in prayer, in agony. Oh, I have who's he praying to? I don't want to spoil the over. You'll see what I'm going to read the book. I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll see what I'm going to read the book. That's why I'm looking at a masterpiece. You have a chapter called "Walking with the Ancestors," right? That's when it really gets deep. Yeah. And the last chapter is the war, the big war, obviously, right? The war in the end, the big war, yeah. You have this huge, big war in the end. Yeah. I don't get it, though. Like, all these authors, when they write books, like when they write dialogue, their characters won't jump on a page, they feel dull. And when you write a book, when you write your dialogue, your characters somehow jump on a page. How do you do it, Ivan? It's a gift of that, man. God gave me the gift, man. I know the magic trick. I know how to what? Just make the characters jump on a page. It's a gift that I have. As I guarantee you guys were shocked when you read sections of my book. Yeah, your book, Ivan, looks fucking entertaining. I know. There's something about your book that's unique. It stands off from all these other books. All these other books feel normal compared to your book. I know. That's why I told you when I release my book, will be a public embarrassment to the industry because it's constant entertainment. The characters are jumping out of the page left and right. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, man. Well, I haven't shown us more. No, man. I'm not showing more, man. I already showed you guys enough. Enough's enough. When I mean no, I mean no. I'm not going to show you guys anymore. I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll find out when we read the book. I hope you guys are impressed what I showed you so far. And what? I hope you guys are impressed. Yeah, your book looks fucking sick. I know, it's a masterpiece. When I told you it's better than Lord of the Rings and Way of Kings and Game of Thrones, I wasn't joking around. You're looking at a masterpiece that I wrote, man. A fucking amazing story. A masterpiece. Looking at an amazing book. And you're welcome, sweetie. I saved your fucking ass. You're fucking welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, why can't the Southerners believe Taki is the Prince of Xanus? Because the Northerners never come to the South, right? So it's tough to believe that the prince from the royal kingdom, the royal heavenly kingdom in the north, is coming to the cursed south. And don't forget, Tactius had a fake identity. He was playing along as a farmer. They thought he was a farmer, Colonius the farmer. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not supposed to swear for you. And then he gets thrown in a dungeon and he tells them he's a Prince of Xanus. They can't believe it. But Lithia's the only one who believes because she has faith. Lithia believes Taki is something good. She has great faith. That you get some biblical wisdom for that. Lithia has faith, She believes. She says, "I believe you, Takis. I believe what you're saying is true." Whereas Eli and them don't believe that Takis is telling the truth. They don't believe it. They don't believe it. Yeah, they can't believe it. And the Safians don't believe it either. But Eli said, no, guys, this guy is the prince. And they're like, does Eli speak the truth? Like, are you really the son from the north, the son of royal blood? And the moment Taki says, I am, the crowd, you get all these whispers and they're all shocked, like, holy shit, man, he's really the prince, the last prince, you know what I'm saying? Of the son of Takis the first, yeah. They're shocked. Obviously, you got some biblical symbols from the Bible. When Jesus says, "I am," yeah. Sounds Ivan, I caught that. Yeah, you catch the biblical symbolism there. Yeah, he says, "I am." Yeah, and the moment he says, "I am," the crowd is shocked because they can't believe that the prince of what the fuck is the prince from the north doing in the south? That's really looking at a masterpiece, everybody. Yeah, I know. Your story looks sick. Oh my god, it's an entertainment masterpiece, man. It's a sick book. That's why the Gates want to control my brand. But they're not touching my money. That money is for me, VJ. It's not for you. Zero, man. You can threaten me all you want. And I know it's scary to die. I'd rather wake up 1 minute later and have you do that, man. No way. The money off the books for me, VJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy pig. Like, you have all the money in the world. You can't be poor. This money is for me and my wife. It's not for you. Zeros. Yeah. Yeah. And how deep is Volume 3? Volume 3 is so deep that Takis is in agony, and all his cousins and his mother and his sister and his southern friends are crying. Some of them are crying. That's how deep it gets, man. It's a deep fucking story. It's very, very deep. Yeah. Yeah. Takis has a panic attack, pretty much. And he's in agony, and it's so deep that even his sister, his cousins, his southern friends, some of them are crying, man. That's how deep it gets. That's why looking at Master that I wrote. It's a fucking amazing story. Yeah. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. You're a genius. Oh my god, I'm a creative genius. Because right now, you guys, when you see me mentioning the faces in the sky, you guys don't understand what's going on. But once you read Volume 3, it all makes sense. It all comes to light, and it makes sense. Because Volume 3 is when you have the answers, right? You have the ancestors. Yeah, you'll see why when we read the book. I won't spoil the story for you. That's what looking at a masterpiece. Yeah, it's a deep, powerful story. Yeah. You know, even seriously, man, like, what you're showing us is your whole book like that? Yes. My whole book is like that. It's constant entertainment. It's constant entertainment. It's constant entertainment. It's constant entertainment, my book, yeah. Easy, Ivan, I love your book. I know, sweetie. My book's amazing. I wrote a masterpiece, man. Amazing book. Yeah. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah. So I'm the only woman who have faith. Yeah, the only woman who believed Takis is telling the truth is Belle and Lithia. Belle doesn't really believe, but then Lithia convinces her, I don't want to spoil the story for you. And because Belle's Lithia's best friend and she trusts Lithia with her life, she believes what Lithia's saying is true, whereas the other Salvins don't believe. Job is pretty convinced, but even he's not fully convinced. Eli's not convinced. Cornelius is not convinced. They're not convinced, obviously. Obviously. But like they have a conversation. You'll say I'm reading the book when Eli and Cornelius talking everything in that chapter. Obviously, when Takis gets thrown in a dungeon, they're like, "Look, man, we don't believe he's a Prince of Saints, but if he is a Prince of Saints, we got to be careful, man, because if he really is telling the truth, we're in big trouble because they know the what the Northerns are what they know the Northerns are very powerful, obviously. And the Northerns, what? The Northerns have authority over the Southerns. They have authority over the Southerns, yeah. The Safians forge weapons for the Xanians, and when you read my book. That's where, look, man, we don't believe this man's a Prince of Xanes, but if he really is a Prince of Xanus, we got to be careful. We got to be careful what we do, because we don't want to convict an innocent man, right? Yeah, because they think Takis is guilty, but Takis is not guilty. He's telling the truth. He really is a Prince of Xanes, but I told you, the Southerns can't believe it, because what the fuck is the Prince from the Holy North, from the Heavenly Kingdom, doing in the Cursed South? Just like when Jesus came to Earth as God in the flesh, obviously, people didn't believe he was the Son of God, because it's tough to believe that God would take on flesh, right? What the fuck is God doing as a Jew in Jerusalem? They don't believe it, obviously. You get some symbolism with Tactius. The Southerns can't believe this man's the Prince of Xanes, but he's like, no, I'm the Prince of Xanes, but they don't believe it. But Lithia has the faith. She's like, I believe you, Tactius. I believe what you're saying is true. And Sirius Mapari, we know he's a Prince of Xanus, because when you guys read that passage in the end of 20 years later, when Tactius meets Sirius Mapari, he says on the Prince of Xanus, and when he said that, Sirius was shocked. He's like, the Prince of Xanes, like, what on earth are you doing here? And when Tactius told him to get my wine, he's like, right away, he listened to him, because he's the Prince from the North, obviously. So why the Northerns have authority over the Southerns? Yes, they do. They don't have authority over Eretat. Eretat's the king of the South, but they have authority over the Syrians and the Southerns, obviously, as the Safians forge weapons with the Xanians. Hence why when Eli, Cornelius, and all, and we'll see what I mean when you read the passage, when they arrest Tactius, they were a bit scared. They're a bit scared, like we don't believe this man's the Prince of Xanes, but if he is, we got to be careful, man. What if he really is a Prince of Xanus? Obviously, yeah. That's really a sick movie. Imagine applying it onto the screen, man. They're gonna masterpiece, an amazing movie, yeah. Samsara? Yeah. Ivan, why did Takis the first say, I smile for them? There's no generation as lucky as this one here. Well, you'll see what I mean when you read the book. The only thing I'll tell you is that the 10th generation, in Xanus, you have a 1,000-year history, pretty much. You have a 1,000-year history, and the 10th generation is Taki's generation. That generation is a lucky generation. Hence why, when Takis was born, and Takis the first had that talk with Cassius when he took a walk along the streets, he looked at the people. He was smiling for them. And then Cassius is like, you smile? He's like, I smile for them because no generation is like this one here. And Cassius is like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And you'll see how when you read the book. Yeah, look at masterpiece. Yeah, and he's like, promise me you'll train my son in the art. He's like, I will. You know what I'm saying? He's like, his cousin Tacitonius trained him too. And that leads to the Young Taki chapter when Cassius and Maramis are training Tacitonius and Taki. He's like, yeah, sick movie, man. Yeah, John Wayne goes, Ivan, man, your book looks sick. I know, it's a masterpiece, John. It's an amazing book. Masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, my book. Yeah, man. Masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Excuse the noise, it's windy outside. So you gotta excuse the noise. Yeah. So Papyri and Sirius believe he's a prince. Yeah, like Taki's told Papyri and Sirius he was a prince, so they believed him. Obviously, whereas the Safians didn't believe it because Takius took on a fake identity. He said he was a farmer, a farmer. Obviously, hence why when he said he was a prince of Xanus, they couldn't believe it. Obviously, whereas Sirius and Papyri believed it because Takius told him right away, "I'm the prince." But when he said he was a prince, Sirius was a bit shocked. He's like, "You're the Prince of Xanus. What are you doing here?" Obviously. But then when he took on a fake identity, when he went to Safians, they couldn't believe it. Because they can't believe, the Safians can't believe that, they can believe a northern, they can believe a northern coming, like, if a random northern from the north came to the south, even the Southerns are shocked. The Southerns are shocked that a northern would come to the south. Because the south is not the north, it's cursed, and they're from the royal heavenly kingdom. Why would you fucking come to the south? So if a random northern coming to the south can shock the Southerns, well, imagine someone who's a prince of Xanus. They can't believe it. The prince of Xanus, who has all that status, wealth, he's beloved. He's beloved by the Xanians. Is in the south. They can't believe it. That's why they don't believe Taki is telling the truth. They think he's an imposter. They don't believe he's telling the truth. There's another reason why he gets arrested. They seize him. I don't want to spoil a story for you. You'll soon have me when we read the book. I don't want to spoil a story for you, sir. Yeah. You also have the spies. I don't want to spoil a story. See what I mean when we read the book. Ivan, who are the spies? You'll see what I mean when we read the book. I don't want to spoil a story for you, man. Yeah. 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 My book is sick, man. Yeah. It's a masterpiece. So Ivan, seriously, man, is your whole book entertaining? Yes, man. What I'm showing you guys, picture like all 3 volumes is constant entertainment. That's why there'll be a public embarrassment in the author industry, man, in the industry. Because no author has hooked the reader or entertained the reader the way Ivan did. Ivan entertained the reader. Because I'm a creative genius. I know how to keep you hooked and entertain the shit out of you. Yeah, I'm a creative genius. It's a gift that I have. The gift, right? So, 'cause, 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 ' It's a gift that I have. Oh, I work tomorrow at Dindy's, man. Oh, tired. I'm gonna apply to the McDonald's because dishwashing is getting annoying. And the chick I like at Dindy's, I don't even think she works there anymore because it's April. April, usually they're done school. I haven't seen her, so if I get the job at McDonald's, I'm probably gonna end up quitting Coco Fruity. I'll just work full time at McDonald's. I'm gonna apply at the McDonald's. I'm gonna look for other jobs in Elmer because dishwashing is really annoying. Anthony's leaving after this week, and dishwashing is very annoying. Hence, I'm gonna what? I'm gonna apply to the jobs in Elmer. McDonald's, yeah. 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 That's why Cassius and Tacitonius were disgusted. Yeah, that's why Tacitonius and Cassius were disgusted that like the Sullivans would throw the Prince of Xanus in a dungeon. Like, who the fuck you guys think you are, man? Do you know who you just threw in the dungeon? The man you threw in the dungeon is the fucking Prince of Xanus, man. Our fucking cousins, yeah. That's why they were so furious at Job. Obviously. Why did you say Job knew what the two were doing when they showed up? Well, you'll see what I mean in the preview. You'll see what I mean when you read it. I'm not supposed to for you, right? All I'm gonna say is that when they came, when Cassius and Tacitonius arrived at the stable, Job knew what they were. He knew why they were there. That's why he's like, "Oh, rats, yeah." And when he said they're well fed during the short piece of the night, he was a bit nervous. And that's why Cassius was furious. He's like, "And what about Tactius?" I know it's funny. I know. That was funny, yeah. Job, I take it you had a horse taken care of? Yes, they're well fed during the short piece of the night. And what about Tactius? I know it's funny. I know I was sick, son. I was 16 in the book, yeah. So I run Tacitonius and Cassius royalty, yeah. Tacitonius and Cassius are part of the royal family. They're not the heirs, obviously, but they're royal. They're a part of the royal family. They're Tactius' cousins, man. So they're royalty too. Cassius is of the royal family. Tacitonius is of the royal family, and Tactius is royalty too. But Tactius is the heir. He's a prince of Xanus, and they're his cousins, obviously. Hence why they were what? They were disgusted that the Sullivans would throw their cousin in a dungeon. But because Eli is very powerful, Cassius had to really convince him, obviously. You have to really convince him to what? To release Tactius. I almost pulled Sophie. Yeah. Yeah. Do Cassius and Tacitonius have authority over Eli? Yes, they do. They're the Northerns. They're the royal family. They have authority over Eli, obviously. But Eli's not convinced that Tactius is a prince, hence why they have to convince him, obviously. And Eli was not really convinced that they're really they're really of the royal family. That's why you caught in that thing. How do I know you're no? How do I know you're not an imposter? Maybe a southern acting as a northern, and you'll see what happens later. And Cassie's yeah, obviously. Some say, huh? Yeah. I love your book. I know. I wrote a masterpiece, man. A fucking masterpiece. Amazing book. Yeah. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, and Eretat symbolizes the devil, obviously. And Tactius, you get the Jesus symbolism. The prince from the north, the heavenly kingdom. Yeah. Because the Xanus is known as like the heavenly kingdom. It's a beautiful kingdom. Think something like Gryffindor, right? It's a beautiful kingdom, obviously. I don't. You guys don't know what Xanus looks like because I give vague descriptions, obviously. But because I say it's a heavenly kingdom, when I make the movie, you look at something beautiful, like Rivendell, something like that, something nice. Saphius is very beautiful too, but it's not as beautiful as a Northern Kingdom Xanus, obviously. Hence why the Southerns, they just can't believe that the prince from because the Northerns don't come to the South, right? Eretat sees the Northerns as intruders. They're not welcome to this territory, obviously. And it's shocking for a Southern to believe a Northern would come to the cursed South, especially the Prince of Xanus. Like the Prince of Xanus who has all that status and that wealth. Why the fuck would that guy come to the South? Hence why they can't believe it, the Southerns, the Saxons. They can't believe that Tactius is the Prince of Xanus. Obviously. That's why in that scene with the hostile crowd, the crowd was like, young man, does Eli speak the truth? Are you really the son of the son of royal blood? And then when Tactius says, I am, they're all shocked. They're like, this guy's really the prince, the son of Tactius the First, the last prince. Are shocked. Yeah, obviously. That's why when you read the book, the Southerns always get that reaction, that cannot be. Whenever they say, you'll see what I mean with Mary and Cornelius and Job and all, so they all say that. When Tactius gets thrown in the dungeon, they all say that cannot be. Why do they say that cannot be? Because they can't believe it. Remember Lithia in that scene with Eli? She's like, that cannot be. Like, why would the prince? I forget what she said. Why would someone of royal such importance come down here to the south in Saphius? Yeah. Even Lithia was shocked, obviously. But even though Lithia was shocked when Eli told her that, when she went to go see Tactius in the dungeon, as you read in later on, obviously, Tactius tells her, I'm the prince, and he tells his story, whatever it is, and she has faith. She's like, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? But they're like Lithia, even though you believe it, you got to convince your father. And that leads to the rest of the story. I won't spoil the story for you. Samsaya? Yeah. Lithia has the faith. She's the only Southern. Lithia is the only Southern. Well, Sirius Mapari, no, he's a prince, but Tactius didn't hide his identity when he came to Sirius. He told him, look, I'm the Prince of Xanus. But when he said that, Sirius was shocked, obviously. His Highness, like, what are you doing here? So Sirius Mapari believe, obviously, Tactius is the Prince of Xanus. But Lithia is the only person in the South, in Saphius, who believed that Tactius was the truth. Everyone else did not believe what he was saying was true. They couldn't believe it. They can't believe it, man. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. And that's where you get the symbols in the Bible, how like you have the disciples, they when Jesus tells himself they believed he was the Son of God, you have some symbols in there. Lithia had the faith. She says, look, Tactius, I believe what you're telling me is true. I believe Even though it's hard to believe that that the Princess Xanus will come to the south, I believe you, Taktia. She believes him. She's the only one who believes him, and Belle too. Whereas everyone else, they don't believe him. Obviously, they don't believe it. Sarah, that's like a sick story, huh? And hence why Aratat knew that Tacitonius and Cassius were looking for someone special because they know the Northerns will never come to the South, man. The Northerns fear the wolves, right? Yeah. Even though Cassius and Tacitonius and all of them are trained and they can hold their own against the wolves, they fear the wolves. The Northerns would never come to the South. The South is dangerous, man. The Northerns never come to the South. Hence why Aratat's like, what the fuck are you doing in my territory? This is my domain. This is my territory. What are you doing in the South? And then and Taki's lied. Yeah, the Queen sent us for a mill task. And Faful's like, this was no mill task from the Queen. It was something more. His men had armor and weapons. Yeah, and then Aratat's like, he's like, I know you're looking for someone special. And Cass is like, I know nothing of what you speak. The child Taki is born. Sound familiar to you now? No, it's like, yeah, that's a sick movie. And that ties into that scene in the end of Volume 2 when Cassius tells Tactius, when me and Tac were captured, Arata only kept us alive because he was looking for you. And then Tactius like, you're alive, Cass, you escaped. And he looks up, he's like, even though me and Tass escaped from the devil's grasp, fleeing to his beautiful land we built here, we are still in Aratat's territory. And he has a bad feeling. He's like, Takis, listen to me. Something doesn't feel. The darkness of the war President John's near. I can feel that region. That was sick, I know. And that leads to the Axis of Saphius. So I'm sorry, that's really a sick story that I wrote. Yeah, man. So Cassius has a gut feeling. Yeah, Cassius has a gut feeling. Yeah, Aratat marked Cyrus. Something tells me, and we escaped from Barak. Somehow Aratat knows we're looking for you, and he knows where we head to Saphius. He has a gut feeling they're coming. The wolves are coming to mark the land. He was right. The wolves are coming to mark the land. Hence, when you read the beginning of Volume 3, the only thing you guys read of Volume 3 was the beginning there, when I said 11 hours had passed. When the sun was at its highest peak, something like that, you see Aratat and his thousands of wolves. They marched, and then Aratat's like, "Stop!" When he arrives to Saphius, and they're all like, "My lord, what is it?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, what happens now? I don't want to spoil the story. You'll see what I mean when we read the book. I don't want to spoil the story for you. Obviously. That's what they're gonna masterpiece that I wrote. Yeah, man, a masterpiece. Amazing book, man. Yeah, man. The best fans ever written. Yeah. Why didn't Aratat touch the lands before? Because, well, it goes back to Osiris and Sapphius. They all gonna say is they had immunity, obviously, but the 10th generation when Tachys was born, the generation when Tachys was born, that's when Aratat said enough's enough. Kill all the humans in the south, kill them. So I'm gonna say he's like, enough's enough. He's like, let wipe it out, and that leads to the obviously. And Cassius, he had something in his heart was telling him the wolves are coming here. Aratat's bringing his own army. They're gonna come and mark the lands, kill everyone there, and that leads to the Exodus. I'm looking at a mess that I wrote. And you can tell when you read the beginning of Volume 3, that's when it gets darker. Volume 3 is when the story really gets dark. It really gets dark. It gets so dark, it's so deep, whereby Tachys is in agony because he's facing the devil himself from Zara. Yeah. Yeah, look at that mask that I wrote, man. Yeah. obviously. He's alright. This is a match. This is Brother of the Rings. Alright, no, he's Brother of the Rings, son. Yeah. 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 That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Well, most fans like Volume 2 the best. Yes. Volume 3 is the best one because Volume 3 is when the story gets very, very deep, man. It's very, like, when I mean deep, it's very, very deep. It's crazy level deep, man. It's crazy. With the answers, it's crazy, man. Yeah, it's deep. You'll see what I mean when you read the second last chapter, Walking with the Ancestors. That's when the story gets really... Well, no, when Tactius... With the Ephesus scenes when it gets really deep, but it gets deep, even deeper after that when you keep reading. It gets deep, whereby I told you Tactius is in agony. Think of something like Jim Cavish on Passion of Christ. He's in deep agony like that, obviously. And his cousins and his Selden friends, his mother, his sister, some of them are crying. Because that's how deep the story gets. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah, the civilians and Xanus are crying. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man. It's an amazing story. Very, very deep, man. Yeah. But some people might like Volume 1 and Volume 2 better. I highly doubt it. Volume 3 is when the story really gets deep and you're blown away by the plot. But some people might like Volume 2 better or Volume 1. I personally like Volume 3 the best. Volume 1. From what I've showed you guys probably like Volume 2 better, right? Obviously. Because Volume 1 is a build-up, obviously. All I showed you from Volume 1 was snippets of young Tactius. I showed you the scene when they have a celebration at the banquet hall and they give a toast and Tactius and Tastonians are talking to the woman. They get drunk and everything at the party. And the whore's hitting on Tactius, and Tastonians goes upstairs to have sex with a woman. You know, I showed you that scene. I showed you the scene when Cassius and them are looking for Tactius. They meet Cleo, Sir Francis, and Sebastian out and in the south. Obviously, and I showed you the ending of the 22 years later chapter when Tactius meets Sirius in the party. Well, Volume 2 is more interesting, as the one when Tactius gets captured, he meets Lithia, that's Volume 2. And Tactius gets on a dungeon, Tastonians and all them get captured, that's Volume 2. When Cassius can't sleep and he says the wolves are coming, that's Volume 2. Volume 2 is better than Volume 1 for me personally. Volume 1's amazing too, but Volume 1 is the build-up, right? But Volume 1's also entertaining read too. As I showed you guys, Volume 1 is fucking entertaining, but it's the build-up. And then Volume 2 is when it gets better, when Tactius meets the Saladins and everything. And Cassius and them get captured, and they arrive to Savage Almasay. And Volume 3 is when it gets so deep. The story gets deep, man. It's like deep, deep, deep. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, your story looks sick. Oh my, I wrote a masterpiece, man. I wrote an amazing book. Yeah. I'm now sick of saying you call on us, O king. I know. Even your animal characters up on the page. I know I'm a genius, man. Even my animal characters jump on the page. No, seriously, man. Even the eagles jumped on the page. I know. Watchers of the North, you hear your king, and they arrive to the wall. They fly towards the walls, and they're like, you call on us, O king. You know what I'm saying? Our sincere joy in your child's birth, and you have my welcome. What do you seek from us, Tactius? You know what I'm saying? Make haste to Sapphias and tell the king of Xanus that you have them forge a sword for my son as a gift for my son. As you command, sire. I'm now sick, I know. The book is sick, man, yeah. Yeah. But the prologue is the worst read. I told you, even the prologue is entertaining enough to keep you hooked. You guys read a portion of my prologue. It's still entertaining. Yeah, it's even my weakest chapters are entertaining. The prologue is by far the weakest chapter of my book because it's just a prologue, right? Yeah, it's a life. It's pretty much the life of Tactius the First when Tactius II, his son, is born, and the very first chapter is young Tactius when Tactius is a kid. Obviously. And you see how I give you that consistency in the beginning. In the beginning of young Tactius, obviously, Queen Sarah is in her royal throne, and you have a civilian. He arrives at the castle, and the guards let him in, and he tells Queen Sarah, "Yeah, they're bringing some complaints. I'm looking at a sick movie because I'm looking at an amazing movie. I know, Peter. This is amazing. I know, Peter. Remember the I'm saying not sick. I'm saying I know. There's been some complaints by folk that your sons and son Tacitonius and Queen Sarah's son Tactius they have been causing unwanted trouble around in the brewery and all stuff. Yeah, Tactius is a stubborn prince. Even when he's a kid, he's a stubborn prince, and then when he's an adult, he's a cocky prince too. Obviously, he's a stubborn prince. Obviously, you see in that scene when he's talking to Tacitonius. The woman who he was talking to with Tacitonius earlier, Tacitonius goes upstairs to his chambers with a woman, and the other woman who's like a whore, right? She hits on Tactius. You want to go upstairs too? He's like, not today, my lady. And she's like, Baramus was right, and she slaps him. You are arrogant. Yeah, he's an arrogant prince, Tactius. He's arrogant, yeah. Obviously. As you read in that passage when he was arguing with Sir Party, right? He's an arrogant prince. You're just a poor old farmer who raises cattle. I am Tactius, I'm the Prince of Xanus. I bow to no one. You know what I'm saying? But then once he gets thrown in the dungeon, the experience humbles him and he's more mature. And he gets even more mature later in Volume 3. Volume 3 is when Tactius is now mature. He's no longer the cocky, arrogant prince. He's a changed man. He's a mature man. That's really gonna master man, yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Tack is a mature man. Mature, changed man, yeah. Yeah. Does Cassius look down on Salty and Sue? Yeah, he does. Cassius, when you read the book, he looks down on Southerners, but he has more sympathy. He has a bit more sympathy towards them. But because he's a Northern, the Northerns don't respect the Southerners. Because he's a Northern, he doesn't respect the Southerners that much, obviously. But Cassius has a bit more sympathy towards the Southerns. Whereas Tacitonius does not have sympathy towards the Southerns. He constantly mocks them and makes fun of them, obviously. That's why in that scene with Job, Tacitonius is like from a Southern as well. He's constantly mocking him because they don't. Yeah, obviously. But you saw Cassius, even though he looks down on Southerns, obviously, he has a bit of sympathy for them. He's not as arrogant as some of the other Northerns, right? Yeah. That's why he told those three guys, when those three guys escaped the Lamar, he's okay, Go to Xanus, it'll be safe for you guys. But look, man, like when you arrive at the gate, you will not be welcome. Just tell them that Cassie sent you, and they're like, thank you, yeah, obviously, because Cassie knows if those three guys go to the north and they arrive to the gate and they say they're Southerners, the Northerners will not allow them in the north, man. The Northerners don't like the Southerners. You'll see what I mean in Volume 3 when the Safians arrive to the north. You have this huge dispute going on. It's crazy. And Tacius and Cassius have to stand up for the Selvins. You have like this dispute. It's crazy. You'll see what I mean when you read the book. It's a sick book, son. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. But does Cassius look down on Selvins? Yeah, he does. Cassius does look down on Selvins, obviously, too. He's a Northern. The Northerns are arrogant people, but he has a bit more sympathy towards them. He has a little bit more sympathy towards them. As you saw in that scene, he's like Zolf, give 3 daggers to these 3 Southern fellows. You know what I'm saying? We never know what dangers ever lie in these lands. The South is dangerous. And he said, when you arrive to the Northern Gate in Xanus, tell them that Cassius sent you, because as a Southern, you will not be welcome. Because the Northerns don't like the Southerns, obviously, Samsara. Alright, what happens to those 3 guys? You'll see what I'm going to read the book. I don't want to spoil it for you. What happens to Cleo, Sebastian, and Francis? You'll see what I mean when you read the book. I won't spoil it for you, man. And that's why I'm not showing you Volume 3. Because Volume 3 is when everything gets deep. I won't spoil it for you, Samsara. Yeah. I don't want to spoil the story for you. Yeah. So Cassius really has really cares about Tacius. Yeah, he does, man. Like when Tacius leaves the walls, he's like, what the fuck? And he's willing to take 50 of his men and yeah, obviously to go. Tacitonius, he tells him when you read the 23rd chapter, Tacitonius, Cassius was gonna go with the 50 men, but Tacitonius wanted to go, and Cassius is like, no, Tacitonius, it's not safe, man. Like you know what I'm saying? The demon wolves of the south is not safe. And Tacitonius is like, look, man, I care about my cousin just as much as you do. You train me, I'm ready to face my trials. And Cassius, he says something like, okay, fine, just come with me, but stay close to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, a sick movie, yeah, a sick book, man. So honestly, I almost post for you. Yeah. So Cassius didn't want to bring Tacitonius along, no, because he knows the south is dangerous. The demon wolves live there. Obviously, it's not safe, hence why he told Tacitonius, no, man, you can't come with me. But Tacitonius did his best to convince him, no, I want to come, I care about Tacitus as much as you do. You train me well, I'm ready to face my trials. Obviously. Tacitonius and Cassius, powerful warriors, oh yeah, they're amazing warriors. Yeah. Tacitonius and Cassius can hold his own against Morale. Tacitonius can hold his own against both. They're amazing warriors, obviously, but the wolves are also badass warriors too, obviously. The only people who stand a chance with the wolves are the Northern Army. Cassius, Tacitonius, Tacitus is also an amazing warrior too. You'll see that when we read the book, obviously. Tacitonius, Tacitus, and Cassius are amazing warriors. They're trained in Xan arts. They can hold their own against the wolves. And the men in the Northern Army can hold their own against the wolves, obviously. But the wolves are also very powerful too. They can also kill the Northerns, obviously. But the Southerns are not trained in the arts. They're not trained in the arts, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's why in that scene that you guys read, obviously, when Tacitonius is like tells Job, take us to him, you know what I'm saying? And Cassius is like, go, we'll follow right behind you. Like Tacitonius was a bit paranoid. He's like, what if it's a trap? And Cassius is like, relax, Tacitonius, we're trained warriors, no one can stand against us here. Yeah. Obviously, Tatsuonis and Cassius are trained warriors, trained the Zen arts. That's why you're gonna see John Maega, Jimon Su, they're badass fighters in the movie. Yeah, me, I'm a badass fighter. Tactius, yeah, they got a sick movie. Yeah. Or the Masterpiece guys, yeah. Oh, your book looks sick. Oh my god, it's a masterpiece, man. It's the best fan ever written. I'm not gonna say it's the best book ever written, but it might even be up there as the best book ever written because there's something about my writing that's very unique. It stands out from the other books. There's something about Ivan's writing that's very unique. It stands out from all these other books. All these other books they're writing feels normal, but Ivan's writing. But the reason why my writing is very unique because I have that heavenly gift. God gave me the gift. That's why when you read my book, it's so entertaining and the characters are jumping out on the page. It's crazy, man. Man. It's a masterpiece, my book. A masterpiece, yeah, man, a masterpiece. That's why the gates went on my back. It's zero, man. You're not touching a dime of my book. It's for me, it's not for you. Yeah, you can threaten all you want. I'm not selling you, man. The money, I'm not selling you, wicked people. The money off the book is for me, it's not for you. You're just a greedy pig, man. Yeah, man. Not to what you put in my life, man. No fucking way, man. No way. Am I selling you? You're crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah. Hence why I guarantee you all the book critics around the world and all the people who work for the big book publishing companies, they were shocked when they read my book. Holy shit, man. There's something about Ivan's writing that's very unique. It's very different. It stands out from these other books. All these books seem normal compared to Ivan's book. Yeah, I guarantee you, when you guys read my book, it was like a public embarrassment. There's something about Ivan's book that's so unique, the characters jump on the page. Whereas these books, the characters don't jump on the page, they feel dull. And Ivan's characters jump on the page and it's constant entertainment. Every time I read sections of his book, it's constant entertainment. Yeah, constant entertainment throughout all 3 volumes. It's crazy. No, Ivan, seriously, man, is your whole book entertaining like that? Yes, I'm not lying, guys. I swear to my father, okay? When you read my book, it's constant entertainment. You're constantly hooked. I'm not joking around. It's constant entertainment. Hence why once I read my book, I realized I had the gift. And when I told you guys I wrote the best fans novel ever, I wasn't playing around. As you guys read snippets of my book, it's constant entertainment for all 3 volumes. It's crazy, man. Yeah, man. Constant entertainment. Yeah. So, Sarah? I know the ancestors powerful. Yes, they are. The ancestors of the south are very powerful. The ancestors of the north are very powerful. Who's more powerful? You'll see what I mean when you read the book. I won't spoil it for you, but the ancestors of the south are very powerful. They're very powerful. The ancestors of the north are also very powerful too. That's why you got snippets of my book. You have a face in the north, and you also have a demonic face in the south. And so I'm gonna say, you have the ancestors of the south, the ancestors of the north, and they're both powerful. And the ancestors of the south are devils. That's all I'm gonna say. The ancestors of the north are holy. That's the only clue I'm gonna give you. You will see what I mean when you read the book. That's why I wrote a masterpiece, man. Amazing book, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. 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 Whoa.
Yes.